baby, we are so fucking back because I don't even know. I just ordered a matcha latte, so I'm going to put that down. I just ordered a matcha latte because it's 8 a.m. I have bags under my eyes. I need to get this off my fucking chest. If I don't get this off my chest, I'm going to go insane. And unfortunately, there's just too many details and too much lore that I cannot physically post this on a TikTok. I don't think. I don't know. Let's see how quickly I can tell the story. But guys, settle in. Settle in. I'm going to tell you about the most insane man I've ever had the displeasure of meeting. And this man I knew for 3 weeks. Okay, I can't imagine if I knew him any longer than 3 weeks, I think my ass would be going to a mental institution. Because have you ever met anybody that just does the most insane things that you're like actually speechless? Because that's how I have felt for the past 24 hours at least, okay? So let me set the scene. I meet this guy on Hinge. He says he just moved to Austin. And that's pretty much that. He's like in between looking for apartments. His family owns a home here, but they split their time elsewhere. And that's that, right? Okay. I'm like, cool, sick. He's moving here. The first time we meet, we end up going, he calls me, which I thought was very interesting. He calls me. But that ended up being like, he calls, right? He likes to call. He doesn't really like to text. He likes to call. He asked me for coffee. We go get coffee. And then on the coffee date, he's like, let's get sushi tonight. And I'm like, wait, sorry, I can't get sushi tonight because I actually am a serial dater and I'm going on a date tonight, if I'm being completely honest with you. He was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, maybe we can do a drink after. So we do a drink after my date and whatever. Then the next day, he has a friend coming into town, right? And my friend lives here, whatever. And he was like, hey, bring a friend to dinner and we'll just do dinner, you know, me, my friend, and you and your friend. I was like, okay, sick. Red flags. I'm not even going to get into his friend. His friend's the biggest D-bag. His friend's an even bigger D-bag than him, I think. But that's a whole nother story. Long story short, his friend sat on his phone the entire fucking dinner. The entire dinner, his friend sat on his phone. And I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. But they're both Nepo babies. So, like, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know why I was expecting, like classy men for being Nepo babies. Okay, they were not. Unfortunately, they were not. And his friend sitting on his phone the entire dinner. Turns out then he ends up saying like something to my friend, like, I don't even know your name. Like it was a really weird situation. I don't want to like mean out to air my friends out business. Don't mean to air my friends out business like this. But long story short, my friend ends up sleeping with this man. Okay, blocks her. Next day, this Nepo baby blocks her. Okay, my man's friend, not my man, but you know what I'm saying. For the purpose of the story, my man. That's just what we're gonna refer to this man as. Okay, sick. All right, great. Already off to a bad start. I'm like, who the fuck do you surround yourself with? Like, you surround yourself with fuck ass people like this. And he's like, no, like he's not a good friend to me. Like he's really not my good friend. Acting like he's like now trying to separate because he's smart enough to know that the people you bring around are a reflection of you. I'm telling you, this man is very intelligent, but also he's the biggest airhead doofus I've ever met in my entire fucking life. All right. Sorry, I'm gonna read him to filth because this is the most insane thing that's happened to me. Like I have not felt the need to give a tongue lashing to a man like this in a long time, okay? He awoke a beast in me that I did not think could be reawoken. Anyways, so we end up finding out his friend's a giant bag of dicks. Like, obviously, okay, what's next, right? So, but he's like being super apologetic to me. Like, yeah, like that's really not even my friend. Like all my other friends hate him. Like he's bad vibes, da-da-da-da. Like my therapist says he's jealous of me. Like, you know, he's like making me feel like, okay, this isn't my friend. This isn't a good reflection of me. So whatever, we keep on hanging out, right? Saturday comes around, I don't even know. We hang out. Okay, yeah, we hang out like all day. We keep on hanging out, right? Until, okay, I get a phone call, right? This is like within 72 hours of knowing this man. I'm like just having fun with him, okay? I'm not trying to marry this man. I'm not trying to date this man. I am just having fun with this guy. And he's like the first man that is interested in me in a minute, right? But on like the third day of us hanging out, I get a phone call from my friend. Because we have mutual friends who live in the same city that this man just moved from. So we get this call, right? I get this call from my friend, and he's like, listen, I know you don't like to know about these things, but I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to lie, this caused like a little bit of a rift with me and this friend just because I don't want to know anything. Guys, I've made it so abundantly clear to all my friends, if you know something, don't tell me. Don't tell me unless like I'm married to this man. Do not tell me because it's just going to cause me anxiety for no reason. Because like, let's be honest, with my track record, I'm going to be over this man in 4 days. So like, don't even stress me out about it because he's going to be irrelevant anyways, which look where the fuck we are now. Like, let me get a drink of water. Like, give me a second. Okay. So I get this phone call. My friend's like, I just feel like I need to let you know this. Our mutual friends in Denver, they have a friend who used to or was hooking up with him right before he left, essentially. And I was kind of like, okay, like what what's the point of you telling me this, right? Because, like, there really wasn't a point. This man just moved to a new city. Like, he owes nobody nothing. He doesn't owe me shit. Like, I don't know what his deal was in Denver, but, like, he doesn't owe me anything. So I was kind of like, why are you telling me this? Like, I don't really care if he used to talk to a girl in Denver. Like, he lives here now, right? Like, he's like, oh, is he moving here? I was like, yeah, like, at least just let me get there. So I'm like, yeah, like, my man, that's my man. Like, he's moving here, okay? Like, I don't, whatever. And he's like, well, I just think it's weird because the reason why they know that you guys both talked to this man is because he brought you up in a phone call. He was on a phone call with this girl that he was talking to in Denver the same days that we were, like, hanging out and whatever. They were going back and forth. And he mentions that he's hanging out with me. Interesting note. I think, is it kind of weird when you psychoanalyze that and, you know, hyperfixate on the fact that I came up in a conversation between him and a girl he was fucking? Yeah, kind of weird. But also, I talk about a lot of weird shit all the time, so I'm, like, not trying to be judgmental. I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. Like, I don't really care that he told this girl he was talking to me. Like, I'm more annoyed at this point that people are reaching out to me about stuff when I'm just trying to have fun with this man. So, this kind of causes a tiff between me and this man, just because I'm like, why are you talking about me with another girl? Like, this is so weird. Like, he's like, yeah, I can agree. Not a great look, whatever. We don't talk for 3 days, 4 days, I don't even know. And he ends up cold calling me on, like, a random Thursday, right? And so we get the ball rolling again, right? This probably happened on Sunday night. Monday night, we kind of beef, and then we don't talk until Thursday when he cold calls me again. So, on Thursday, I'm trying to think what we did. I think we might have went and got food with my friends. One thing about this man, whenever we go out with my friends, he will actually ignore me for 30 minutes and get stuck in a conversation with one of my friends. But, like, my friends will try to bring me back into the conversation, but he has no awareness that he's ignoring me. So then my friends will be like, oh, Ken, what we're talking about is blank. And, like, this man will just ignore me. Like, I don't know. I think that's just, like, aside from him being a shitty person, I think that's literally just, he doesn't know social cues very well. I'll give him that one. I think it's just he lacks serious social cues, okay? But anyways, this fucking man, okay? I think this is now leading us to, I have an event to go to for work on Friday night, right? South by Southwest stuff. And I'm like, hey, do you want to come with me? He's like, yeah, sure, right? Cool. So keep in mind, this man follows, he's very private, but he follows, like, he's one of those guys who are like, I keep on the DL. But, like, low-key not keeping on the DL at all, you know what I mean? Like, he's very in the know of things. But, like, he follows 40 people on Instagram, right? And, like, he makes it clear that he's, like, private and wants to keep it that way and da-da-da-da, okay? This man plays some type of psychological game, okay? He's running a psyop on me from the moment I meet him, okay? He is doing this weird thing where he follows people on Instagram, then he unfollows them, then he follows new people, then he unfollows. Like, he is, like, a serial follower, unfollower. I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. And I'm picking up on this, right? I just need to say this, I've never once tracked a boy's Instagram following, ever. This is the first man who ever I was like, and keep in mind, I've known this man for 3 weeks. The psychological operation obviously is working, because he had me being like, what the fuck is going on right now? So I'm like, I kind of like peep this guy's Instagram every once in a while and see like who he's following, so I'm following, like, because it's very interesting to me. He doesn't even follow some of his own friends, but yet he'll like follow and unfollow random girls. Like, red flag, but at this point, I think I'm not emotionally involved in it at all, so I'm like, I don't really care, but it's noted, right? I'm noting it. Long story short, I noticed this one girl was following him who lives in Austin, and I actually had noticed that right when I followed him, like, a week prior to that this girl was following him, and I thought it was interesting because, like, he had just moved here. Like, I literally think I, like, met this guy on, like, his second day living in Austin. So I was like, that's crazy, but, like, also, he was on Hinge. I think he had his Instagram on his Hinge, which is a whole nother red flag. But I'm like, okay, maybe this girl just followed him, trying to get his attention. And I kind of know her, but I don't really know her, right? Like, if I see her in person, I say hi, but, like, I don't know her other than that. So I'm at this event, and who do we see she's, like, standing outside of this event. I don't know if she was trying to get in. I don't know what the vibe was. But this girl is, like, with her friends standing outside of this event, and I'm walking around because I need to take pictures and da-da-da-da, whatever. I see her, and I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? I give her a hug, whatever. She's acting kind of suspect. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why she was acting so sus, but she kind of had a weird vibe about her that night, whatever. I walk away, and I say to him, oh, that girl follows you on Instagram. And he's just like, oh, really? He's like, she probably doesn't even recognize me. She probably doesn't even know me. I'm like, well, your private Instagram, like, she follows you, like, and, I mean, she probably does know who you are, but whatever. And he's like, no, probably not, but, I mean, I don't know this bitch, so whatever, right? He's so nonchalant. That's the other thing about this man. He could not be bothered by fucking anything. Like, it's insane, okay? Like, I'm not sure if he's on beta blockers out the fucking ass. I don't know what this man's on, but he's so unbothered, right? Okay, fast forward, we hang out for the rest of the weekend, a couple times during the weekend, whatever. And then on Sunday, me and my friend are getting a drink because we once again have another South by event. And he's like, can I come meet you guys? Yeah, sure. And I'm just going to be honest. I've clocked now that this man, nothing ever adds up, right? Like, he left my house at like noon on Sunday morning, right? And then next thing you know, he's telling me he's gonna go get lunch by himself at Perla's, okay? Then though, he ends up going, and he ends up telling me that at like 2:30, right? So I'm assuming he's been home for like 2 hours, and then he's like, okay, I'm reconvening, and then I'm gonna go to lunch. So then when I get to drinks, he comes up and he shows up and he's wearing the same exact outfit that he left my house in that morning. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, have you just been bopping around the fucking city all day? Like, what's going on? He's like, oh, I just got lunch with my uncle. Okay, your uncle's in town? Yeah, my uncle's in town. I didn't mention it. I cannot keep up with this man, okay? Like, I think this man is playing a psyop on me, right? But also then immediately when he gets to lunch with me and my friend, or I guess it's like dinner time, whatever. When he gets to drinks with me and my friend, he immediately is like, Ken, do you want to meet my parents today? Meanwhile, this man has already talked so much about his parents being like, they're very intimidating. I just can't bring anyone around them. He has hyped up his parents to me, but now all of a sudden, when I'm day drinking, he's like, hey, like, do you want to meet my parents? Like, we should get lunch. My parents are on their way back from Aspen right now. Like, let's meet them. We're going to go get dinner. Sorry, I keep on fucking up my lunch and dinner. Ignore that, okay? Like, I just woke up. This is literally the first human interaction I'm having today. And by human interaction, I mean I'm talking to my fucking laptop, okay? Ignore me, okay? I've just been spiraling over this for the last couple of hours, 24 hours or so. I need someone to talk to about it, okay? And that's you guys. So, whatever. Okay. So, whatever. Fast forward, he keeps on talking to me about like his parents, okay? In front of my friend, he keeps on bringing up like going to dinner with his parents. And that's when I start to realize this guy is a scammer, I think, okay? Like, we were never going to dinner with his family. And we also, like, I don't know why he moves weird, but like it's almost like he wanted me to give me the idea to make me feel like I was important enough that I was going to meet them, which I don't give a fuck to meet your family one way or the other. Like, you don't have to make me feel important by saying that. Like, you think I'm dumb? Like, I don't like a broken promise. And it's just given that. It's giving he's overcompensating because I'm never going to meet his family and he just like treats women like shit. So he's trying to save his ass. And I pick up on this early on, right? Like, I know this. I'm talking to my friends about it. I'm not an idiot, but I am an idiot because I still stick around because, oh my God. I'm talking too much and too fast. Also, he's saying things to me. I tell him I'm going to Kentucky Derby. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. And he's like, oh, did you get your flight yet for the Kentucky Derby? And I'm like, no, why? Do you want to sit beside me? And he's like, oh, I was just thinking maybe you could like hitch a ride with me and my family. Like, on their jet. Like, suck my dick. No, bitch. Okay, get out of here. Like, this man is so full of shit. I don't even know what's real, what's fake, okay? Long story short. Okay. Keep in mind, whenever everything went down and he was like trying to say that friend of his wasn't his friend, I'm going to get back to the main point. He had then called his cousin in front of me and was like, yeah, he said he was going to tell dad. He said he was going to tell his dad. And I like marked this memory in my brain of him saying that his friend was going to tell his dad something. And I'm like, what's he going to tell your dad, right? This has been eating me alive for like a week, but I don't say anything because I don't also want to let him know that I'm in his business like that. But like, I am making marks of that in my mind. Like, that is so weird. His friend's threatening to tell his dad something. Like, and he's acting so nonchalant about it, but obviously there is something there. His friend's probably just not pulling this out of his ass, right? He's like trying to pull like he's crazy, right? He's trying to pull I don't know, he's crazy, dude. He's crazy. I don't know if this friend's definitely a douchebag. I don't know if he's as insane as this man has made him out to seem, right? Okay. So, we're getting drinks. It's Sunday, and we're just like, shit, whatever. We're shooting the shit. This girl that he follows on Instagram, I end up looking up earlier that day and see that she unfollowed him. And I'm like, oh, shit, maybe this girl saw him at the event with me and just was like, whatever. I don't know what the situation is, but I noticed that she unfollowed him. So this gets brought up during our drinks, and he's like, yeah, I noticed. And I'm like, wait, hold up. You were like claiming you have no idea who this bitch is, and now you're like, meanwhile, you're private on Instagram. You had to accept her to begin with. But now you're telling me you noticed that she unfollowed you. He's like, yeah, I noticed things, right? Like, I noticed things. Like, yeah, she unfollowed me. Which also is another red flag. Like, how do you go from not having and being like, she doesn't even know who I am. I don't know who she is. She doesn't know who I am. Like, to being like, yeah, I noticed that this girl unfollowed me. This girl you didn't even know the name of. Like, guys, I don't know what type of psyop was being run on me, okay? But I'm just sitting there and I'm like, weird, right? Like, I'm picking up on the social cues of like, this is fucking weird. Okay. We go out that day. We end up getting dinner with my friend. We end up meeting up with some of her friends. Like, whatever. We go home that night. And that's that. It was fine. He comes to another event I'm with Monday for work, and we don't really talk again on like Tuesday, Wednesday, or he hits me up on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't even know. But like, we always go at the beginning of the week. We never talk, and then we'll talk. Like, he'll give me a cold call at the end of the week, and then like he'll just call me up and be like, what are you doing? Do you want to get dinner tonight? Whatever. Also, I'm noticing that this guy wants to be in a group setting. Like, consistently, there are times when we go out together, but he wants to be in a group setting because I think he doesn't want anyone to think that we're together, also, is what I'm noticing, okay? And I'm also picking up on things like, oh, people are starting to be very confused on the fact of, is he moving here or not? He still hasn't found an apartment. He's been here for 3 weeks, but he's like, yeah, I just want to make a good decision on the apartment I'm getting. Guys, okay, there's like all these sketchy little things that are happening in between, but this is where I'm like, this man is a sketchball. This man's constantly unfollowing people on Instagram. Okay, I already said this. He constantly has girls in random cities. Like, he'll have girls in Miami randomly following him. Then he'll have girls randomly in New York following him. And it's like, at a time, it'll be like girls from different cities following him, right? Like, he's obviously fucking around and like going on Hinge and putting his location in different places. Like, this man has no actual intention, I'm realizing, of moving to Austin. And the big one he does on me, right? The big one he pulls on me is when his friend calls him. Just like 2 days ago, his friend calls him and he puts him on speaker and he's like shooting the shit with him. And his friend's like, dude, when are you coming back to Denver? Like, I thought you were only going for like a little bit. And he's like, what? And the guy's like, what are you doing? And I'm like looking at him like, because we've already had this conversation of like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, why are you acting like you're moving to, like, I don't think you actually are. And he's like, no, I am moving to Austin. I don't know what. And so his friend basically calls him out for his bullshit and is like, dude, what are you doing? When are you coming back? And he's like, I think I'm going to stay in Austin for a little bit. And his friend's like, dude, what? Like, what? This dude has been lying to everyone. He's been lying to me about moving here. He's been lying to his friends saying he's not moving here. Like, I don't know what this dude's, like, agenda is. Like, this is just, it is giving to me now at this point. This man has enough money to fuck around in every city and ruin every relationship and connection he has in each city and then just go somewhere else. Like, that's the type of vibe that this is giving. Like, this man does this a lot. Like, he goes, blows shit up in one city and then will leave and then go somewhere else. And like, it's very fucking weird. It's very fucking weird. Okay? Sorry, I'm getting a text about my matcha. With that being said, whatever. So I'm like low-key noting this in my mind. Like, what is this dude's like, what? Also, keep in mind, I'm like still seeing people during this, right? Like, he owes me nothing. We've kind of had that talk, but like whenever he knows I'm going out on dates, he kind of gives me a hard time and is like, oh, since you're going out on dates, but I'm not seeing other people, right? Like, he makes it very clear, like, I'm not trying to see other people, I'm just trying to see you. However, I go, okay, then delete Hinge. Then, like, let's make it a pact to delete Hinge. And as soon as I bring that up, this man is, like, starts to go radio silent. But he's the one who's kind of, like, nagging me about, oh, you're going on dates. This is my least favorite thing that men do. Don't get on me about going on dates if you're going on dates or if you also don't have intentions of, like, wanting to date anytime soon, because I don't want that either. But if you're putting this weird pressure on me, it's causing me, I get annoyed, right? I'm getting annoyed. But he's like, doesn't want to have the conversation about deleting any apps, but yet he's on me about like me going on dates. It's the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, dude, get off my dick, right? He wants to have his cake and eat it too, all right? Like, a tale as old as fucking time, bitch, okay? So, and like, this man, I'm starting to realize, I think it's a kink, okay? I've also psychoanalyzed this enough that like, this man, he likes when he gets yelled at by me. I'm not kidding. I think he likes when he gets yelled at. He has made it clear to me that like his parents didn't show him enough discipline growing up. Once again, Nepo baby, tales old as time. Parents don't show him any discipline. And so I think he truly likes to like be a little bit of a delinquent. So people will like correct him. I think he likes being corrected because he didn't get enough of that growing up. Okay? I don't care. That's just how I feel. Because I'm like, why else are you like causing me to get angry? Like, I've never gotten angry like this in my life. Like, I've never yelled at a girl like this in my life. You know, like that type of vibe. Like, I'm like, why are you? And this is also something I'm realizing. This man is bringing out an ugly side of me. A side of me that I don't like. A side of me that I thought was dead and gone. But obviously she's very much alive and she lives in me. She lives deep in me, but she's in me, right? Because I don't fuck with being lied to. I don't fuck with people deceiving me, okay? Like, that is the easiest way. But he's also, this man's like, when we're having talks, he's like, yeah, like, trust is everything. You can't rebuild trust. He's claiming he got cheated on. I'm like, bullshit, okay? You're probably the mass cheater, manipulator. Like, ain't no way you don't have insane issues, right? So, he leaves my house after we had this whole conversation, and he's like, oh my God, like, what kind of house do we... Guys, I can't believe I'm even saying this out loud. Like, obviously, this man is fucking with me, right? But he's like, doing the whole like, so what kind of house do you want someday? Like, you know, he's talking about rings. Like, we're not, okay, he knows me for 3 weeks, right? But he's just like, he is hyping up a conversation that is like so, it is so ridiculous that like I've known you for 3 weeks, but he's feeding into this that I'm just like, I am aware enough to be like, dude, you're a fucking psychopath. Like, I know that you're an insane person, right? So, you know what? I haven't checked his Instagram for a couple days. I'm like, who's he following, right? Who's he following now? I kid you fucking not. This man is now following the girl from the event that we saw, and then he was like, I have no idea who that girl is, but then he also clocked the hand. He is now following her, and she's following him again. What type of psychological operation am I fucking like? What? You just told me you went on this whole thing. I don't know this girl, but then, now you're following her and she's following you again. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what am I missing? Like, are you going on dates with her? Like, if that's the case, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. But like, why are you making me feel like I'm a shit person for doing the same thing, right? So not only is he now following her, he's also following another girl from Austin. So I'm like, dude, this is so insane. Like, this guy just went from being like, I don't know anybody, you're the only person I really know in Austin, to like, now he's following other girls in Austin, which like, this shouldn't even be any of my business. But because he has made it such a point to be like, I'm on the DL, like, I don't even let my own friends follow me. But I'm letting these random ass girls follow me that I don't even allegedly know. And he keeps on being like, I don't even know them. But like, then why, like, you don't even follow your own friends on Instagram, bro. Why are you, I don't know, okay? Like, I don't know. Like, this was a psyop on me, okay? This was a psyop. So then he happens to be following this one girl who I don't know who it is. I see that she follows me, but immediately I click on her page and I notice this girl that's in all of her profile. And it happens to be this girl that I had told him about, like, just when I was bitching about people in Austin, da-da-da. I had gone out of my way to been like, I don't like this bitch, okay? I don't like this bitch. She's a weirdo. And this girl's friends with the girl that I have told him I don't like. And the guy even was like, pull up her Instagram, let me see her. So like, he's very aware of the bitch that I don't like, right? And he happens to be following one of her best friends on Instagram all of a sudden. Did I miss something? Is this man actually purposely trying to piss me off? Like, I feel like he wants me to notice, because we've also had like little conversations here and there about like his Instagram thing, and he's like, oh, you noticed? Like, he knows that I pay attention to that, and he knows that I'm gonna clock it. So it's also like, why are you even doing this to me right now? Do you want the reaction? I don't know. So I find this out and I'm just like actually floored over like, are you dumb or what? Like, what? And he's like, dude, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, it's not a good look on my end. It's not a good look. And that's all he's saying. He's just like, it's not a good look. I don't know why I even follow this girl. Like, I don't even know. Like, this girl just has like mutual friends with me in Boulder. So like, that's why I followed her and the other girl from the event. Like, I don't know. Like, we just like followed each other again. I don't know. And I'm like, dude, that's not how, there's obviously been some type of communication, and that's fine. Once again, you're allowed to have communication. We're not together. But it's the weird psyops, this man. Guys, I don't even know, okay? I don't even know. The whole Instagram thing really took me out, because I'm like, what type of sick joke is this? What type of fucking sick and twisted joke is this? I am no longer going to be a part of this psyop. He apologizes to me. We end up going out together. But all night I'm just like, I'm just trying to read his vibe, right? This is like my last farewell. I'm just like reading him like a book. And I'm like, I can just tell this man is insane. This man does this where he goes to different cities, he meets with all these girls, matches with all these girls, and then he just like leaves, right? Like, this is definitely his MO. Like, this is just like the shit that he'd be pulling. This man has no plans of moving to Austin. He never did, hence why he doesn't have an apartment. Like, he's just living with his parents, figuring it out till he goes to his next move and performs his next psyop. That's this man's MO, right? But basically, we're at dinner together, and on our way to dinner, he like ignores a call immediately, right? Like, he gets a call, he immediately ignores it. I'm like, answer it. Me and my friend in the car with him, and we're like, just answer the call. Why are you being weird, right? And I could also tell by his body language, if we're in public, like, he tries to be closed off. Like, he wants it to be like, I'm not with this girl. He like wants it to come across like he's not seeing me, right? He wants to come across single in case he sees any of the other hoes, because he's obviously a serial hinger, a serial dater, like, which, you know what? Me as fuck. Me too. But I'm not sketchy about it. That's the thing, you guys. So anyways, this guy, he's like very closed off, and I keep on calling him out for it. I'm like, you're being very closed off. Like, I can tell by your body language, it's either giving insecure or it's giving, I don't want to be seen with a girl right now, and I'm trying to act like this is just my friend. But so he gets a call from a girl, and he immediately declines it. And me and my friend look at each other, me and Trent, we're looking at each other in the back seat, and we're like, no. Nope. And I go, why'd you ignore that? Answer it. Why did you ignore it? And he's like, dude, what? And you can see him, he's like nervously scrolling on his phone. He's like, what? Like, what? And I'm like, answer it. Like, why are you ignoring your phone calls? Like, if it's your friends, like, what? Why? He's like, yeah, it is my friend. I'm like, then why are you ignoring it? Like, you can tell he's like trying to be sketchy on his phone right now. So then he's like, okay. Ends up answering the call, or calls her. I don't even know what happens. But next thing you know, he's on the phone with her. And she's like, I can hear it's like a girl, and she's like obviously drinking. And she's like, I'm at the proper. Keep in mind, this man has like ripped on the proper over and over again with me, being like, yes, besides the point. And he's like, I'm with my friend Ken. We're going to grab some dinner. And that's all he basically says. He keeps it very short, and the girl's like talking, and then I feel like he just like hangs up. Like, I feel like he almost like hangs up on her. Like, he's not even letting her finish what she's saying. But all you can hear is like a drunk girl being like, I'm at the proper, and da-da-da. And I'm like, dude, I think I met a real life Tinder swindler. I don't even know if he's a Nepo baby. I feel like he is a Nepo baby, but I also feel like that could be a complete lie and he just lies about his entire life. I don't know. I don't know what to believe now. Like, why would you lie to me about moving here when you never had what? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? I hope you guys understood that story time. There were so many more like little details that I just couldn't even put in it. Guys, it's like 9 a.m. right now. I just needed to get this off my chest because I am just like, I've never had this happen to me. I've never had a man straight up run a psyop on me like that and me let it happen. I let this happen for like 3 weeks and I knew from the minute I met him something was off. But he was so cool, calm, collected, nonchalant that like he was making me believe. Like this man is I want to say this man is so nutty, guys. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Am I a fucking idiot? Obviously I'm an idiot, but like, I don't know. Like what? I love you guys, okay? I just have to tell you the story, all right? I love you. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Goodbye.